With more than 1.9 billion drinks served every day, Coca-Cola is one of the world's largest beverage companies. From its humble beginnings, selling a single product at a drugstore for 5 cents a glass.
We were very focused over the last 12 months on focusing on really improving our marketing. We cut the portfolio of brands in half. We got really focused on our innovation pipeline. We worked with our bottlers to really support the customers in new and different ways.
According to author Mark Pendergrass, the mixture contained caffeine, lots of sugar, and for the first few years, a small amount of extract from coke leaves. In other words, cocaine.
And at first, their ads were primarily promoting it as a medicine.
You already know Coke is full of sugar, but what if the real problem isn't the sweetness, it's the stuff you never taste?
It was supposed to cure morphine addiction, for one thing, which it did not in Beverton's case, unfortunately. But it was supposed to be an aphrodisiac.
By the turn of the century, Coca-Cola adverts were appearing on clocks, trays, and posters, and the drink was moving from soda fountains and into bottles. The company's advertising budget reached $1 million in 1911. In 1888, Pemberton began to sell the recipe to a well-capitalized businessman named Asa Candler, and by 1895, Coca-Cola was available in every state in the U.S.
There are ingredients in that red-labeled bottle working behind the scenes, not just on your metabolism, but on your wallet too. In this video, we're stripping Coke down to the fine print. You'll see how a few mysterious words on the label can quietly shape how much you spend, how much you crave, and how long your craving lasts. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
The equivalent of about $27 million today.
And that became wildly successful by 1900, 1910. There were Coca-Cola bottling plants in every small town, not only in the South, but throughout the country.
In 1971, the I'd Like to Buy the World a Coke commercial aired. In 1982, saw the debut of Diet Coke. In 1985, in an attempt to boost sales and compete with rival Pepsi in the soda wars, by the 1920s and 30s, Coca-Cola had reinvented itself as an all-American soft drink and was entering new markets abroad. Exempted from sugar rationing during World War II and in support of GIs, the company sent 64 portable bottling plants around the globe, distributing more than 5 billion bottles of Coca-Cola.
Most people think Coke's problem stops at sugar, but the real price tag hides behind one small word on the label: flavor. That single word covers a chemical network more guarded than some national secrets. It is not just taste, it is strategy. Coca-Cola's flavor base is engineered to survive global shipping, months on a shelf, and a human brain that likes to come back for more. The company calls it a formula, but in practice, it acts like a feedback loop. The more you drink, the more you want that exact combination of bite, fizz, and aftertaste. Let's start with the mystery itself. The flavor base, often nicknamed Merchandise Number 7, contains compounds that set Coke apart from other colas. It keeps every can identical whether it's opened in Atlanta or Ankara.
The company reformulated its classic soda and launched New Coke. The move was a major misstep. With widespread disapproval from fans and pundits alike, just 79 days after the soda was launched, the company reversed course and the original formula was reinstated.
It was about the same time that we started to see increased concerns about sugars and simple carbohydrates.
Peak happened around in the early 2000s from a consumption standpoint, if you look at per capita consumption, and then it's been declining ever since.
At the same time that we started to see carbonated soft drinks decline in consumption.
Cola has really been hit hard by the pandemic, and it's they're definitely not out of the woods yet.
Whilst there is uncertainty and volatility, particularly in the near term ahead of us, we feel confident about the corridors we're setting for the top line and the bottom line guidance.
From a business standpoint, that reliability is genius. From a public health standpoint, it's loaded with consequences. It isn't just water, sugar, and caramel color. It's a fine-tuned cocktail of acids, stimulants, and stabilizers, each chosen for one reason: control. Control of taste, control of freshness, and control of behavior. Take phosphoric acid. It's the behind-the-scenes workhorse that gives Coke its snap, that sharp tang you feel on your tongue. But acids don't stop working when they hit your mouth. Over time, heavy intake throws off calcium balance in the body, which keeps bones dense and teeth stable. Think of it like running a small corrosion cycle, sip after sip. It's subtle, not instant, but that's what makes it insidious. You don't feel it eating away, you just reach for another can because the bite feels good. Then there's caffeine, the great double agent of beverages. On paper, it's added for stimulation, but inside the flavor system, it acts almost like a silent reminder, a built-in nudge to repeat the experience. You get energy, then a mild drop, then the thought that another drink might help. Combined with carbonation, which heightens sensory pleasure by tickling the nerves in your mouth, you get a perfect loop. Doesn't matter if it's Monday morning or Saturday night, the messaging is consistent. A Coke will make you feel right again. Over a year, that reflex adds up to a quiet drain on your wallet, all in the name of refreshment. Now compare that to Diet Coke. You'd think removing sugar would make it simpler. It's the opposite. Without real sugar to create depth, manufacturers rebuild taste with artificial compounds that trick your tongue into sensing sweetness while avoiding calories. The result? A drink that's chemically denser, not lighter. Each additive plays a role: an enhancer for the sweetness curve, a stabilizer to hold carbonation, a preservative to extend life. And that flavor profile, so specific, so consistent, creates its own dependency pattern. You crave it differently, but you still crave it. There's also the caramel color, a harmless-looking shade that hides an industrial story. To achieve that glossy brown tone, syrup is heated under controlled conditions, forming compounds that look like homemade burnt sugar but are created in factory vats. It creates visual trust. You see the color, your brain fills in the taste memory, and you feel safe buying it again. It's one of the cheapest illusions in packaging. Brown equals familiar. Put all of that together, and flavor stops meaning taste. It becomes architecture, built to hit reward centers, mask fatigue, and bypass boredom. It's the reason an ice-cold Coke doesn't feel like other sodas. Every ingredient plays both sides of the counter, health cost on one end, profit on the other. When you pay $1 or $2 for a bottle, part of that money funds the chemistry keeping you attached. You are not just buying refreshment, you're buying reinforcement. Over time, the hidden costs multiply. Habitual caffeine intake nudges you toward less restful sleep, which can spark more consumption the next day. The phosphoric acid quietly strips minerals that bodies need to repair muscle and bone. Artificial flavors support repeat craving cycles but give back nothing in nutrition. It's a debt system disguised as a soft drink. Medical bills rise, energy dips, and the tiny pleasure that started it all becomes maintenance instead of reward. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who thinks flavor means harmless. Because the truth is, that word carries a longer receipt than the cash register prints. And the next layer of this story isn't just what's inside the bottle, it's what happens once those same ingredients spill into the world beyond the consumer, where water sources, workers, and entire communities start paying their share of the tab. The real risk in Coke isn't the sweetness or the calories, it's the habit the chemistry builds after the bottle's gone. Every sip teaches you to crave a repeat, and those repeats stack up into costs you don't see until much later. If you want to spend smarter, start reading what sits in fine print under flavor. That's where most of the story hides. Becoming aware breaks the pattern faster than any diet plan or promo promise. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets and the quiet costs that follow them home.